Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone to the March 14th, 2019 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. And will Mr. Steve Conkler please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Thank you for your service, too, Mr. Conkler. Thank you. I'm Barb Lewis, President. To my left is Jeff Benton, our Vice President. To my right, fellow Commissioner Gary Merrill. Our administrator for today is Dawn Houston, and Sarah DeNovo is our clerk. We can begin.
Resolution number 19-231, in the matter of approving the electronic record of the proceedings from regular meeting held March 11th, 2019.
So moved. Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-231. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We have no public comment this morning. Resolution number 19-232, in the matter of approving purchase orders, then and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CMA PR 0313.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 232. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-233, in the matter of approving travel expense requests.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-233. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-234, in the matter of approving the second amendment to the contract between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, the Delaware County Department of Job and Family Services, and Speak Right LLC for the verbal transcription services.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Good morning, Commissioners. Bob Anderson, Director of Job and Family Services. This contract or an amendment is for services provided by Speak Right. They provide transcription services for our Children's Services Division.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-234. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-235, in the matter of approving the child placement services contracts and first amendments between the Delaware County Board of Commissioners, the Delaware County Department of Job and Family Services, and child placement providers, the Village Network, and Buckeye Ranch.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Both of these contracts are existing contracts. We have children placed at both facilities, or residential facilities. We have 4 youth currently placed at Buckeye Ranch and 1 youth at Village Network.
The history's been good?
I'm sorry?
The history with both of these
Yes.
providers, good?
Yes.
How about the dollar changes between the contracts?
They're kind of our higher dollar kids. Right now, we're kind of right on pace of what we estimated. If
No, I meant the rate. I'm sorry, just the rate that they would charge, like, per day.
It's, I don't have their exact, it's probably in that $200 range per diem, and that's in line with the services being provided.
Okay.
Okay. Vote.
Vote on motion 19-235. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you.
While you're there, would you mind maybe updating the fellow commissioners regarding the foster parent event that you're going to be doing in May as far as?
Oh, absolutely. We are currently working on the Foster Parent Appreciation Dinner. We're actually going to host it here in this building across the hallway and have the services catered in. Commissioner Merrill has helped on that as well. We're looking at providing the foster parents that attend passes at the zoo. They have agreed to work with us and provide those in appreciation. And we're going to actually have the assistant director from our association, PCSAO, attend to speak to the parents. So we're going to get the save the date and then invitations out here very soon.
Oh, good. Do you know when it is yet?
May 8th.
Oh, May 8th, sorry. Okay, great.
Very good, thanks.
Thank you.
Resolution number 19-236, in the matter of approving for a professional services agreement with Right Way Compliance Group, LLC, for the FOG BMP Municipal Program Annual Subscription.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion.
Morning, Commissioners. Tiffany Mag, Director of Environmental Services. So this is a contract for this company, Right Way Compliance Group, to come out and help us set up a website-based data management tool where we can actually go ahead and track all of our food service establishments and whether or not they're following our new fats, oils, and grease or FOG management program that we've established in our rules and regs. So we're really excited that they're able to kind of help us out, and it's going to really streamline the amount of work that we have to do and possibly allow us to not have to hire a new employee to go out and do this work. So the cost is $5,000 per year on this contract.
Yeah, great. Vote?
Vote on motion 19-236. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-237, in the matter of approving an agreement for the sale and purchase of sanitary sewer between the Board of Education of the Olentangy Local School District and the Board of Delaware County Commissioners.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
So this sewer was originally constructed by Olentangy Schools at the Wyandotte Run Elementary. It's right at the dead end of Carriage Road into the school where that road dead ends. It's a few hundred feet of 8-inch sewer, and we would like to take ownership of that line because there's a development property that would like to connect in, and they can't connect into a private sewer. So we're requesting from Olentangy that we purchase the line at no cost, but assume all the maintenance in the future.
Okay.
And as I asked you, everything's...
Yes, we did. We went out and CCTV'd the line, and everything looked fine, so there's no issues with the line.
Vote?
Vote on motion 19-237. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-238, in the matter of approving the sanitary sewer improvement plans for Genoa Place.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
So this sewer has met all of our requirements, and it is on Old Worthington, or on Worthington Road, just north of Africa Road in Genoa Township. What they're doing here is they're splitting this property up into 4 parcels, and they're just running a short piece of sewer in to service those 4 properties.
Okay. Vote?
Vote on motion 19-238. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-239, in the matter of approving a development agreement by and among Delaware County, Kerbler Farms LLC, Kerbler Builders, JAK Investments II LLC, and Schottenstein Real Estate Group LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Bob Lamb, Economic Development Director. Commissioners, before you is a request to approve the development agreement between the Kerbler family, Schottenstein Real Estate Group, and Delaware County. This agreement lays out the framework to help facilitate infrastructure development along the 23 corridor, namely extending Home Road to the east side of 23, developing graphics and green meadows in order to help facilitate traffic flow in that area. Further, the project provides for several key economic development initiatives, the expansion of infrastructure, diversification of the housing stock, as well as site readiness. This project helps bring online 200 acres, approximately, of land that can be developed for a mixture of commercial uses. It also will help facilitate the east to west connector, which is shown as a key priority for transportation networks within the county, the first east to west connector that we will have once the full phase of that construction is complete. Throughout this process, we've been working very closely with Taft and Orange Township. I would like to thank both of those organizations at this time for the great work that they've provided in helping to keep this item moving forward. On Monday night, the Orange Township trustees will be voting on the Schottenstein Real Estate zoning request that will allow the multifamily project to go forward if it is approved that evening. Happy to answer any questions that you have at this time.
Questions? Comments?
Yeah, I didn't really have any questions, but just, I guess, a comment. I wanted to compliment you and your team, and certainly the Schottenstein Group, Taft, Orange Township, the Kerbler family.
County Engineer's Office.
County Engineer's Office, Schottenstein Real Estate Group. I mean, there's so many people involved in this. The sewer department certainly,
Yes.
Played a role, because it's important to get sewer across 23 and into this area. So it meets our goals of providing more commercial, industrial acreage that we can, hopefully balance out our tax rolls a little bit better. So again, I want to compliment everyone. It's very complex, and it's good to see this come to fruition.
Yes.
I'd like to say as well, there's been a lot of meetings on this, and I've had the privilege of attending some of those, and this is one more step towards the east-west corridor getting completed ultimately over time, and there's a lot going on in that area, and as I told you this morning, I drove behind Menards over the weekend there's a good-sized footprint back there to be developed that will benefit all of us in the county and create jobs.
Yes, great job.
Thank you.
complex, very, very complex, fitting everybody together and getting everybody on the same page, and then the site readiness is just great. So, a lot of hard work.
And the team's been incredible. Mike Fromart, County Administrator, Prosecutor's Office with Eric, everybody has really come together to move this along and to be able to get to this point where we can be providing a staff recommendation of approval on the development agreement.
Oh, great. Any other comments? Then vote.
Vote on motion 19-239. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Resolution number 19-240, in the matter of approving a joint application by the Delaware County Acting Prosecuting Attorney and the Delaware County Board of Commissioners to authorize the appointment of legal counsel to advise, represent, prosecute on behalf of, and/or defend the board in and as related to the multi-district litigation currently pending against manufacturers and distributors of opioid medications.
So moved.
So I'll second this. I have an issue with this, but I will second it.
Okay. Discussion?
So back in February of 2018, this board approved a resolution for a joint application to appoint Taft, Stettinius, and Hollister as legal counsel to advise this board in the litigation pending against the manufacturers and distributors of the opioid epidemic. And Taft has recently indicated to us that they have a conflict and need to withdraw from the case. And there is a consortium of law firms that are actually representing plaintiffs in this litigation, and they have agreed to assume the representation of this board. So this resolution would approve that joint application between the acting county prosecutor and your board, and we would then apply for this new firm, Powell and Magistro, to represent Delaware County in this continued litigation. This would amend the authority to represent, and there is the list of law firms that are actually involved on page 706. You can see the list there. I think it's important to point out that the firms would, we would pay the firms 30% of the total recovery. But if there is no reimbursement, if there is no award or finding at trial, then there would be no reimbursement to these firms. So,
Right. In other words, we wouldn't be paying the firms
Correct.
anything. It's based on a contingency, which is the common way to do this in this type of litigation.
Yes.
Commissioner Benton, you had a comment?
Yeah, you know, when we discussed this a year ago, my concerns at the time were that I thought we were, that this litigation is pursuing the wrong defendants. The real culprits in this opiate epidemic and the fallout from it are the prescribers. The doctors, the pill mills, the clinics that prescribe these opiates and cause the problems. And so, but as we were told at the time, those people or those organizations, people are difficult to sue, don't have the resources to get much of a settlement, so they targeted the distributors. And again, I don't think the distributors are the problem. So again, I guess we're just, I think we're just suing the wrong people. The distributors have deep pockets. These are big international corporations, so that's why you know, this litigation is pursuing them, not the real culprits, which is the prescribers. Plus, we end up spending a lot of our time, you know, Dawn's staff, the prosecutor, the sheriff, mental health board, others have spent a lot of hours, many, many hours already in this, and they, you know, the attorneys can't give us any reasonable amount of recovery or expectation of dollars to receive. So for those reasons, I just I can't support going forward, continuing to go forward with this, even with different attorneys. So.
My comments, again, some of the concerns Commissioner Benton expressed, as I expressed earlier as well, but, and I do believe the doctors who may be prescribing inappropriately are culpable, and I do believe they should be included, but the reality is that's not what we were asked to consider. And as far as whether they're responsible or not, that's what the courts will ultimately determine. And for that reason, I supported with that caveat earlier, and I will still support it. We're really today just talking about a change of who's going to be representing us legally. So the vote to participate was really determined a year ago today. It's just more or less a formality to change, something we need to change to go forward to make sure we're legally represented correctly. So, so with that, I will remain supported.
Okay. And the suit, the defendants in this case, multi-district legislation, are both manufacturers and distributors of prescription opiates. And there's already been enough evidence presented that there is some culpability, but this will be determined through the court process. And this is where it should be determined. And so, as Commissioner Merrill stated, this is merely a reassignment of counsel. And I definitely am strongly in favor of continuing our membership in this multi-district litigation. So with that, vote.
Vote on motion 19-240. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
No.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
That brings us to administrator reports.
I have nothing to report.
Do you have anything to report?
Commissioner Benton.
Just a couple things. Morpsey this afternoon, got the Health District annual meeting this evening. We had our DKMM board meeting Tuesday, and it was really pretty quiet. It wasn't really a whole lot of new stuff to report there. And then we had our TID and Land Bank meetings yesterday, and both of those are moving forward very nicely. The TID is definitely moving forward with the Home Road extension. That project is going to be done through the TID, which is should make it quicker, easier, and save some money. So it's a really good application of our creation of that organization. And the Land Bank has several real properties that are being targeted to move into it. So we'll see how that goes forward.
What did you discuss then? Like
the Land
what?
Bank?
Give us an example.
There were
of a
three
property.
properties. The main one that we discussed was the old Sunny Bee Nursing Home on Lincoln Avenue here in town.
Right.
It's been closed for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 years, something like that, and it's run down.
Is that huge brick?
Yeah, across from Asbury Church.
Yes, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so this is a perfect use of it. The reason it hasn't been, nothing has been done with it is that there's 300 and some thousand of liens that, no one is willing to take that on as well as what needs to be done to improve the property. So the Land Bank has a mechanism to wipe out those liens and then sell it and
great.
get it
Yeah.
reused. So that's,
Yeah.
again, that's a perfect case for the Land Bank.
Boy, that is. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah,
because
it's
so
a
visible.
it's a bad situation that has just been sitting there, and until I think the Land Bank is the only real avenue I know of how to solve it, Land Bank steps in, I think it will be difficult,
Right.
to do this. So anyway, that's one. There are a couple other properties out in the county,
Yeah.
so it's not just in the city of Delaware.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Commissioner Merrill.
Yeah, the fact is the liens exceed what it believes is the value of that property, which makes it impossible to get rid of.
Right.
Yeah.
And there are a couple other properties, I'm privileged to sit on the same board. I think it's okay. One of them was in Ashley, one of them was in Souda Township. And I think that's very healthy because the comment that was made yesterday was, first reaction is a lot of these are going to be in Delaware City because it's an older community, but the reality is we have properties throughout the county. So this is going to be beneficial to really over time, all segments of the county. So very excited about the progress we're making, and there's still work to be done, but we're getting there.
Yeah, and I think the word is getting out. More and more townships are aware of it. The city of Delaware certainly is, and others. So that's good. We're able to hopefully we're very fortunate, again, one thing we've learned from our learning about land banks is there are some land banks in this state that have thousands and thousands of properties that they're working through. And we fortunately don't have that situation. We just,
Wasn't it 55 land banks they indicated yesterday we
Yeah.
have throughout the
Yeah.
county now?
Yeah.
Throughout the state? So
so I think their value is being proven.
I have a couple other things. Morpsey today, it's at 1:30. I have a CCO government meeting at 1 o'clock, so it's difficult for me to make both. So I'm going to start out at CCO and see how it goes. I may show up a little bit late for the Morpsey meeting, or I may not show up at all. So, but I know it's in good hands. And Development Disabilities has their award event tonight on Ohio Wesleyan's campus, and I will be there to participate in that event. And lastly, I got a text last night from Don Howard that the groundbreaking, or whatever you want to call it, for the Junior Fair building will occur a week from Saturday at 10 o'clock. So I did ask for permission to make that announcement today, and Don said, great. Oh, good. And with the support of my fellow commissioners, I'd like to ask that we help with the press releases to get the word out on this, because there's a lot they got to get out, and there we have more expertise than they will have to do this. So with your blessing, I'd like to ask Change Department to move forward on that. It's a week from Saturday, I believe it's the 23rd at 10 o'clock in the morning. And I think it will involve physically starting the tear down of the building. So that's great news. We've all
It is great news,
been
yes.
looking forward to this day, and excited to hear it's coming. So
Yes. Oh, that's great.
and that's all I have.
That's all you have? Yesterday, I went to Family and Children's First meeting, and I liked, since our JFS director, Bob Anderson, is here. Bob, could you come up and just explain what the governor put in his budget? Because we talked about that yesterday, the $74 million increase for neglected children and...
Yes, last week we attended a meeting with PCSAO, and the governor presented to us over lunch. And in his budget proposal that will be out mid-month, this month, he is proposing an additional $74 million be placed in to protect abused and neglected children. $30 million of that will go right into our public children's services funds. And then there's various programs that money will be placed in, everything from prevention to allowing children to stay at home, expanding the Ohio START program, which we are now a member of. And so we're just working through that. I'm hoping next week at the meeting with legislators to propose that and show support and move forward with that. But I will say that the membership is very excited. As I've said before, Ohio is 50th in the nation as far as state support. And I think we will still be right around 50th even with this increase. But this is definitely a step in the right direction, and we appreciate the proposal, and we're looking forward to that funding and working with our families and our children and keeping them safe.
Yes, this money goes towards helping neglected and abused
And dependent, yes.
and dependent children. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. That's all I have. Do we have executive
We
session?
do this morning. Resolution number 19-241, in the matter of adjourning into executive session for consideration of pending or imminent litigation.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion vote.
Vote on motion 19-241. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
We're now recessed into executive session.
Resolution number 19-242, in the matter of adjourning out of executive session.
So moved.
Second?
Discussion vote?
Vote on motion 19-242. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Before we adjourn, Carla Jacobs sent all three of us information regarding the telemarketing thing we do every year, and we generally.
Oh, yes.
So I just,
Okay.
we probably need to at least think about, do we want to do it a day like we've done in the past and do something? And not that we have to decide right now, just.
But for 911,
Yeah.
we take a day
The
and
day's April
provide-
14th through the 20th, so, and I think the
Okay.
deadline that she gave was a week before that. I don't see the date here, but it's, so just make that point,
Yeah.
and maybe we ought to have a conversation, and, or ask Mike or somebody to kind of coordinate in our behalf or something.
Jane's coordinated in the past. hadn't she?
Or whoever, yeah.
Or Sarah did, too.
Mike just pointed
Sarah, I
out.
believe. Maybe Marissa.
But
even.
Jane's not here, so she gets a sign.
Jane, that's right. Jane's not here. I do think, I think we should.
So, anyway, I just,
Someone coordinate, and we should participate, so we've got it.
Sarah's good at that, aren't you?
I try.
Yeah, she is. Sarah is good at that. Thanks for bringing that up, because, yeah, I read that, too.
Okay.
So,
That's all I have.
okay, we'll move ahead with doing that. If we have no other business, we're adjourned.